In the shadow of the most powerful city in the world, the Capital Golf Gang is on the air with instructor John Ronis from the Ronis Academy at River Creek, Executive Director of the Middle Atlantic PGA John Guhl, and former University of Maryland golfer Ron Thomas. And now your host from Afternoon Drive on the Team 980 Radio in Washington, D.C., Steve Czabe.
Live from Golfdom in the Fitting Bay here, where we are going to avoid the storms and the eerie cold that is coming for Memorial Day weekend 2021. High in the mid-50s. Boys, in your life, can you remember a Memorial Day weekend where it's not going to get out of the 50s?
No, I remember a lot of rain, but not that cold of a temperature.
Oh, my God.
It's a shopping kind of weekend, though,
It is
right?
a shopping kind of weekend. Indeed, indeed. Welcome to the Capital Golf Gang, presented by Golfdom. We've got Buddy Christensen, owner of Golfdom, here in the A position seat. John Guhl, the executive director of the Middle Atlantic PGA, in the middle seat. And John Ronis over there on the end, looking chill with his, oh, look at that hat. Strokes chin. What is that hat, John?
It has two X Roman numerals followed by 3.
What golf course is that?
That would be the
course?
Grove 23.
I've never heard of it.
Well, probably because you're not going to be able to play it. It's built by Michael Jordan. It's kind of his golf course.
Michael Jordan.
Yes, I just happen to play it.
Okay. Remind me, buddy, to bring my Pine Valley gear for next week's show, okay? Since we're now in a gear war of look where I've been, look what I've done.
Fair enough.
All right. Boys, we have been blessed with the best of materials. Phil Mickelson wins the PGA Championship. I'll start with the most basic of questions. What is the story of Phil's win? What's the big overarching story? We'll start with you on the end, Mr. Ronis. What's the story?
It's determination, preparation, and follow-through. It's someone who decided that he wasn't just going to get lucky and win another major. If John Daly won that major, it would have been a story, and it would have been a feel-good story. But Phil Mickelson decided that he was going to change his body, change his mind, change his preparation to playing golf, major tournaments, but playing golf at the PGA Tour level, not the senior level, at the PGA Tour level, with the thought of, I'm talented enough if I can get my body and my mind, big mind aspect of this, in the right position, I can accomplish another major. And he did it. And that is something that we should really, really celebrate, that someone was able to do that.
A miracle by intent. In other words, some golf miracles are just that. They're sort of, wow, where'd that come from? You made a great point. This was by design. This was by desire and design.
Correct.
John Guhl, what's the big story?
Well, I think, Ronis's elements, I think he had it exactly right, led to what I saw the story as just the age and the comeback, right? It had been so many years until we really even seen him compete, but win for certain. And what John just described in terms of the intent led to the story of, oldest major winner, 50 years old. We hadn't seen him play the weekend in a while, to be honest. I think Ronis had it exactly right. It was intentional, but that was the story. That's why the TV coverage was what it was. The intent made it happen, but what we saw was the age and the haven't won and all that stuff. That was what the coverage was all about.
Buddy, what was the big story in your opinion?
Going into the week, I thought it would be the golf course.
Okay.
But by the end, obviously, Phil was the story. I think, he's 3 months older than me, so he gives me a little hope there of getting something back. But, he obviously ended up being the story, but it felt like a 50-year-old winning a PGA championship should just be, oh, my God, I cannot believe that just happened. It kind of feels like that, but it kind of feels like, you know what? I can see this. This
and it was a 7,600-yard course. It
right.
wasn't like it was a shorter course that happened to, that he happened to take advantage of.
Right.
He had the longest drive on 16, I think it was, of the week, or at least on Sunday.
When it was in,
down the wind. Longest drive of the day on Sunday at 16, at 50 years old.
366.
He found the speed.
Adrenaline helps too, but yes.
Adrenaline helps, but
he's had the speed.
But he made a concerted effort in the last 5 years to not go quietly into that good golfing night that many guys in their late 40s do.
He didn't take his talent for granted. He worked at his talent, and he prepared to get the most out of his talent, which means that he had to get his body and his mind prepared to play at the highest level. He's always had the talent, but he, by distractions, has gotten away from body preparation and mind preparation.
Yeah, think of all the times we saw him really doughy. You know?
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
And
This is the leanest, the best that we've ever seen him, and he says in part it's because he does like a 36-hour fast.
every week.
That's, I mean, that's
really hard.
Really, 36 minutes is my
really
record.
hard.
36 hours,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, I can see how that's
I
even
can
harder.
sleep for 12 hours and not eat. That would
Yeah.
work.
So, I mean, he's definitely made the commitment to that. Then there was the fan element, which is undeniable, that Phil is a fan favorite. He's been that way forever. What do you think is the core essence of Phil's fan favoritism?
As far as winning
Why?
this,
Why they like him?
why?
There's a lot of good players, a lot of guys who smile, a lot of guys who give golf balls to kids in the crowd.
Yeah.
Why has Phil always been that favorite?
He's worked hard on that too, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he's doesn't necessarily have that same reputation with the guys, I think, behind the scenes. But as far as kind of that Arnold Palmer, I'm here for the fans. He's always had that attitude.
I think it's the failures too. He's had very public failures, and 18 at the U.S. Open.
So
hit it
the
off
failures resonate.
Well, I think
the fact that he was, how old was he before he won the Masters? 33?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the snarky sports writers. Oh, he doesn't have it to win a major. A lot of the sports writers took a sort of a glee in the Tiger era to pound on Phil like he doesn't have it mentally. And then 33 is a long time to wait to win a major. Now kids are winning them at Colin Morikawa's age, right?
Right. They're not afraid.
I think a little bit the opposite. I think it's because he's a winner. I think the failures happen to everyone, but the fact is that he's a winner.
Okay.
If Lee Westwood, who's a not a loser, if Lee Westwood, who has not won a major championship, was doing that same thing, you wouldn't have got that crowd position.
I think it's the combination, though. Yes, if he just had failures, yes, he wouldn't be as popular. The fact that he has had very public failures and that he's overcome them and he's persevered and he won the Masters, now he's won 6 majors. He has.
He's gone out of his way to be a well-rounded golfer, and he has gone out of his way, I think, in his mind, looking in the mirror, that he said, I want to be the next Arnold Palmer. I want to be that ambassador of the sport.
Well, if he
the
was that
thumbs up,
intentional-
the logo.
You think he is kind of like this generation's Arnie?
I do believe
Where
he
Tiger
is.
is more like Jack. A little bit more.
The favorite, the front runner, and then the guy, spunky little competitor. That
See, I think to cross sports, I think that Phil is Peyton Manning and that Tiger is Brady. Brady isn't as funny as say Peyton Manning, but he has more rings, 7-2. Just like Tiger has Phil by a score of 15-7 now. Six now. Six? You sure?
No,
about
I
that?
think no.
That's number
Six,
six.
because he
Number
joined
6.
a group of 13
Right.
who have done 6
Okay.
majors
Well,
or more.
and Phil's he's grabbed the social media thing over the last couple of
He
years
has.
from kind of nothing, right? To this.
At an older age.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And
He's
Ross-
worked hard to do this stuff, and it's not.
See, but Phil walks this fine line of cocky, but
Yes.
still funny.
Correct.
Cocky with just enough of self-effacement in there that you're like, okay, that was pretty cocky, but you know what? That's funny.
And I think that's when John said, with the guys behind the scene, he's not as popular. I think that has been kind of that thing back and forth of, who is this
are
guy
you?
just a cocky guy? Who are you?
The legend is Fig Jam.
Yeah.
If I'm good, just ask
Yeah.
me. That's the
But if
acronym.
you ask the shoe shiners and anyone in locker rooms or anyone around,
Right.
he's the first one to be, stuffing anonymous $100 bills
Sure,
in people's
sure,
pockets. So
sure.
it's something that I've been back and forth on Mickelson myself. Really not back and forth, just didn't really like him. And now I really like him for the last 5 years. And I think he's earned every bit of the respect that we should give him. And he has done it kind of the right way.
Think about this.
And he's got some issues, right?
He does. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I went through earlier this week on my various platforms the up and downs of Phil and how I've been on the wagon, off the wagon. And there's some things that are not great in his history. But he is at a point now where he has written a career that is hard to even imagine. He's the last guy to win a tour event as a college player. That was in the 89 at True.
You got to look at the picture of him with that.
Might have been 91.
Over his
91, you think it was?
Compared to now. It's the
okay.
same.
Yeah, it was 91. I believe that's right.
Right. So he was the last one to do that, and he's now the oldest major winner ever.
Yeah.
And he's got five.
I mean, holy cow!
5 more
right?
years of majors, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
That helps.
At least.
And there's a lot of people that say,
got
you
the
know
Masters
what?
forever.
Yeah, a lot of people that says, hey, you know, he's going to
Right. He's got 2 lifetimes.
he's going to win more, obviously.
He's got 2 lifetime major now. He's got the Masters and the PGA because the PGA is a lifetime, and then 5 years in the Open and the Open Championship.
Yeah. Here's your
Yeah, there's the
picture,
picture. Yeah.
of him. Well, it doesn't have him actually.
putting it on, yeah.
But still.
The helmet's over there, but he put the helmet on. That was in Tucson, right?
And he was going to Arizona
He was
State.
local. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Well, Arizona State's up in Phoenix.
Well, I mean,
Tucson's
relative.
Arizona.
Relative.
Come on, man. Get your Arizona school.
Yeah,
straight.
relative. Same
You're never
state.
gonna do that.
It's a small state,
drove
Arizona.
Do you know how much the Tucson people don't care for the Phoenix people and vice versa?
Yeah, well.
It's like Baltimore and D.C.
He
my
still
man.
drove
Well,
there.
those happen to be different states, but we won't get into that.
Okay, so here's another thing. Right. Here's another thing about Phil is that with the Jimmies, as I call them, with the kids, there is nobody better. For example, here's a video of him with this young kid named Riley, okay? And take a listen to this. This is great.
Would you go for it here out of the rough, or would you lay up?
If I could hit my 3-wood 260, I would.
I would probably – come on, audio. What are you doing to me here? You're screwing me up, audio. But, yeah, that's the kid.
What do you think? Riley, you can caddy for me anytime.
And there you go. You can caddy for me anytime. Do you know, I saw, because of this kid Riley is now bigger. He's now carrying his driver 260, and he put on social media, he said, working on the 3-wood, but first things first.
That's great.
See, those are the impacts that he has on kids. And Mickelson's not the only one to do that, obviously. But he does it, I think, better than anybody else.
He's just
And
really
carries more weight.
And he's just so comfortable with himself now, right? So he's able to do this. Is a great video of just
Okay,
him
you
looking
like
back.
this one of okay, this one is incredible. This is him hitting a bunker shot over, not a bunker shot, but a lob wedge over his head.
Lob shot and really flip my wrist. I might be able to flip the ball back over my shoulder high enough and land softly on the green.
I mean,
amazing.
Can you foresee a time, Phil,
on.
when you're playing
This is good here, by the way, too.
10, 12, 15 tournaments on the Champions Tour?
Todd, when I stop hitting bombs, I'll play the Champions Tour, but I'm hitting some crazy bombs right now.
Well, look at this. You let that one go. Settle down. Oh, it hit the flagstick. Oh, look out, please.
Hit a fan in the head.
Look, he's got a
And went all the way across the
If
fairway.
your head was a touch softer, I'd be in the fairway.
Just on and on. Oh, my God, it's such good stuff. Of course, the short game is still his calling card. His short game, I don't want to just diminish the work he puts in on it, but it really is touched. By
It was
the
even
hands.
better when Dottie Pepper sat there and said, Sandplay hasn't been too good this year. He's 151st on tour.
You mean right,
Drano.
right before this hole out there, out of the bunker?
Well. Oh, my gracious.
Vern.
Hey, who's there to call him at Vern? Vern.
Honestly.
Vern is Forrest Gump. He is at every major event moment. It's
right.
The guy's retired. He does one thing a year now, which is this.
That is great.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so there was that. But did you see the super slow-mo of the chip on 18 on Sunday that helped propel him into the lead on the final day? I liken this to the flop shot Spieth hit. High on 18 on Saturday before his first Masters win. It was this crazy flop shot off of super tight lie. and it helped propel him to the next day. You never want to go in on a bogey, right? This is the slow-mo video set to music, and I'm telling you, whoever the cameraman was who got this, it's flat-out magic.
Look at the club face right there.
Yeah.
Wide open. Could hold a ball on it.
Yeah.
Silly sunglasses on, all the fans there. By the way, I love the fact the PGA allows cameras there, allows cell phones, John Guhl. Very smart. You can even see the spin.
And rangefinders this year.
You can see the spin. 1 hop, 2 hop.
Yep. It's fantastic.
Very cool.
And for all those who are listening to the radio who didn't get to see that,
this will be
on Twitter
viral,
somewhere, right?
Yes, I'll put this viral video
so
clip up there. But anyway, so
good.
Exit question on Phil Mickelson. Is he done winning majors? And if he's not, how many more and which ones can he still pluck at 50 plus? We'll go once again.
He can definitely win the Masters.
Okay, so he can.
Especially fading it around the corners.
He can, will he?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, the odds play is no more.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, he will not win another major.
Okay.
But he can.
John Guhl.
Yeah, I'm going to I was always the one who said Tiger's never winning again, and I got proved wrong. I'm going to give him one more, and I think Masters is his best chance. He has the talent, the physical talent to compete. I think to Ronis' original point, can he get the mental focus to where it was and really be dialed in for 72 holes? We've seen him have wonderful rounds and then lose it. So he can, and I'm going to give him one.
Buddy.
Can't imagine. And if he did, though, that would be – I think that would just be – that would take this story and just blow it up.
Okay.
So
he might be the oldest major champion at that point.
Okay.
Again.
The answer is 2 more majors.
Holy
The Open at Torrey and then another Masters at 56.
An Open.
Very good.
To be 10 years older than Nicklaus at 46.
Got it.
But I'm not setting the bar too high
No,
for Phil.
not at
Would
all.
not want to put any pressure on him.
No.
Okay, coming up, we'll play a quick 9 here on the Capital Golf Gang presented by Golfdom. The Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau standoff, feud, catfight. I don't even know what it is. I'm not sure it's good for the game of golf or not, but we'll kick it around and talk about that right after this.
You are listening to the Capital Golf Gang. 4 guys who all carry a perfect club, an alien wedge, a double-sided chipper, and a 20-foot ball retriever.
All those wonderful implements available right here at Golfdom, where we are filming today and recording. The show, of course, is on Team 980 on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Tune in then. And I do post it to my podcast feeds. Search for the Capital Golf Gang or just Czabe. You'll find it there. Okay, boys, quick 9 time. This is something, I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like it. It is Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka going full heel against each other over who knows what, a variety of slights. I'm going to play the video, which has been scrubbed, by the way, but I found it and I saved it, so I've got it now. It's been scrubbed from the internet by the powers that be. But here was the original interaction caught on a taped interview by Todd Lewis of the Golf Channel after the round on Saturday, I believe. Saturday it was, right? Okay, we ready? We good? Here we go. Take a listen to this. Wow. Okay. Start with you, John Ronis. Is this good for the game of golf?
Well, it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, all kind of.
So you're saying it's neutral?
Yeah, it's hilarious, really. I don't like this guy at all. I don't like Koepka.
I was going to say, who comes out looking worse?
Koepka, well,
Who
not
comes
only
out
this,
looking
but
worse?
after Phil Mickelson just created history in the press conference after, and they're asking him about the knee, and this was fascinating to me. This is the Golf Live, whatever, live of the PGA Championship.
Right.
They ask him about the knee situation. He's like, oh, well, it would have been cool if my knee wasn't hurt and, people were hitting at my knee.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been on purpose, maybe even a little bit. Then they go right from there into the political kind of scene of, let's talk about this with Todd Lewis. And Todd Lewis is actually a really cool guy. But he goes, Do you think that they were not ready for this security here? And it was like now all of a sudden like a revolution, or what do we call it? Insurrection.
On
a golf
an
course.
Inquisition.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Insurrection is what we called, the thing on the Capitol, right?
Yeah.
So this is all of a sudden, it's that. We have to make it bigger than it is out on the golf course. And it was awful because they should have just been reveling in the fact that Mickelson won.
It took away from things. Now, John Guhl, you were there not on Sunday as part of the PGA of America, but you're aware of the operations that go into it. What happened?
Well, I think what it really tells you is that no golf tournament is really secure. All that was holding them back was a rope. And what happened was a few people, probably with a BAC of probably greater than 0.1, decided I'm going to go right next to Phil after he hits the shot. And
who's going to stop me?
Who's going to stop me?
What
no
are they gonna do?
golf
Is there
course.
a jail on Kiawah Island?
Right.
I don't think so.
No golf course is prepared. If somebody wants to do that and they get enough people following them, no golf. No.
It used to be sort of a pseudo tradition at the British Open. You would see the crowds.
They would actually bring the rope.
They'd stay behind that rope. But when they were showing during the telecast, they watched Duval come out of one of those things like he was getting punched. Yeah. It was an Open Championship. I mean, he was struggling to get out.
Certainly not by design. And the PGA CEO, apologized to the two players, as he should have. I mean, it was not. I don't think it was anything they could have prevented, but it was not something they wanted for sure.
But Brooks should not be a baby about it, okay?
Right. Complete baby.
Seriously. Oh, my knee was dinged.
And I think maybe someone doing it purposely, but then, my caddy got stopped and I hit my head on the caddy. I smashed my head on the caddy, and it's just like, dude.
Oh, God,
just step away.
And
just get away. And then that whole Bryson thing, which I didn't even realize happened, that's just a little kid. Basically a silent temper tantrum right there. Yeah. You got to watch it. If you haven't seen it, maybe this is the last place you'll be able to watch it on your Twitter or your podcast.
Watch what?
Please watch this.
The video, because it got taken down.
Because the beginning, his eyes and his body language, he's just a child.
I know.
He was already there before Bryson got. I'm not going to say Bryson came out well on this at all, but if the start of the video, to his point, Brooks was already rolling his eyes.
What did Bryson do?
He wore metal spikes, which is another.
Metal spikes, and I think if you catch that video, I think he was responding to Brooks when he said, "I don't know how anybody else got on a putted because it was hard to read."
And he
said
something about it.
Yeah, going by, he said something. Well, you get it on the line. Now he said he was talking to his caddy, but Brooks might have thought it was.
I'm telling you, DeChambeau's not paying attention to anything Brooks Koepka says.
Well, and you were asking who looks worse. It's Brooks, just from the start of this thing.
Look at him.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then what about the first line? I just ball struck my way around this place.
I mean, there's the super eye roll right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is without Bryson.
Right. No. He's listening to Bryson on the side right there.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, he's looking at him. And then he says, I ball struck my way around this place. Like, this is easy, bro. This is a major. It's easy for me.
Do you know the thousands of memes this has spawned?
Look at that.
Even Brady's gotten in.
This has been a meme factory out of this.
Great.
I score the match DeChambeau 2-1. I think he came out of it better because if Koepka's really as alpha as some people think he is, he wouldn't care what Mr. One Major has.
Right.
Mr. Milkshakes and high reps guy. He wouldn't care. He would just let it go. Be like, well, yeah, okay. I was in second place. By the way, another side story is Koepka nearly won another major. He's got a bunch.
It's insane.
Of super close misses.
But he's been not closing the deal the last two or three.
Still, to get there is unbelievable.
No question.
He's got a massive chip on his shoulder for no apparent reason.
No question.
I think
maybe that's what helps him. A lot of guys do that.
It's either a cultivated personality with him or it's really how he is. He is like the guy who doesn't want to play golf, but he does because he's good at it, and he likes beating the nerds.
Yeah.
We joked at our golf trip. We're like, I can see Brooks like paying a clubby $100 and saying, go take Jordan Spieth's shoes and fill them full of bunker sand. And he comes, hey, guys, who did this? And they're like, I don't know. Brooks paid me to do it. Okay. So that said, it leads us into the second hole, which is, what do you think of this upcoming match between Phil and who else is he paired with? It's Phil and Brady.
The old guy.
Versus
Aaron
Rodgers now and DeChambeau. DeChambeau's in because Tiger couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
obviously. What do you think? Do these kind of things have legs, in other words? Because this is a follow-up to last summer's very popular one in the rain with Peyton Manning and Tiger.
Right, and then you had the Charles and Curry involved in the one. I've kind of enjoyed some of these. I think it's going to grab a little bit of a different audience. And then there's enough of after that first one, I wanted to play golf with Peyton Manning after watching that. Because he looked a lot of fun to play with.
I'm not sure if you're going to want to play with Bryson DeChambeau after it, though.
No, right. But that's going to be some of the fun
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I find, they don't mean anything, right? It doesn't tell us anything about any of the players, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to want to watch it.
Kind of fun.
Right. I mean, now remember last year we really couldn't do anything else. We were stuck in our homes. It was on TV, so we watched it. Right. So it'll be interesting how that changes this year. But it's been. I've been very entertained by him. I mean,
What's interesting is that you see tweets like this: Brooks Koepka to @AaronRodgers12. Sorry, bro. And then DeChambeau responds, "It's nice to be living rent free in your head."
Yeah.
So I guess
they're all going for the PIP numbers there.
Yes.
They're going for the for that publicity program.
I forgot about that.
And
the
that's
PIP
part of it.
bonuses.
Yeah.
I guess that is part of it.
They Max Homa
look at that line right there. Brooks Koepka, 55,000 likes, and Bryson DeChambeau, 1.6 thousand.
Yeah, 1,600.
1,600.
So I guess by that scoreboard,
Brooks is winning.
Brooks is killing them right now. Okay. Hole number 3. Where is my list of holes here? Because I'm a little bit out of sorts here. I said for this.
We're on the clock, by the way.
I know. We're way behind.
We might have to skip 3 holes.
Okay. Tiger Woods' second photo to come out since his car crash and his first interview, which was oversold by all the headlines. Like, Tiger Woods opens up about car crash. And I'm like, he didn't say anything. Right. He just said it was the most painful he's ever experienced, but he knows how rehab is because he's done a lot of it. I'm like, this is the whole interview?
It's open.
So, right. So what do you make of the latest Tiger news and whether or not your hope of him coming back to play is going up, down, or staying the same?
I looked at his leg immediately because I wanted to see if it looked like who's a quarterback?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith.
Oh,
and it does. I mean, it doesn't look as bad, obviously, but you see that little indent on the left side of his leg down at the bottom. I just think that in the compression sleeve, I think there's something a little mangled there. And the thing looks like it's cocked in a little bit. It just doesn't look.
Boy, you did some film study.
I did.
You sure did.
I did.
But, again, it's him, and he's taking some time to take a picture with a young man who's obviously facing some challenges.
Girl, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that's right.
Very sorry.
Yep.
A young girl who's facing some challenges.
Cancer, right.
And so good for him, and hopefully she'll get some strength in that as well.
Or some free gear.
Yeah, I definitely went backwards a little bit just because I think there was another quote that he's just hoping to walk on his own, which is
Yikes.
a little bit when you talk about playing golf and he's really just concentrated on walking. I think he's coming back. It's just it might be a little longer than I originally.
Buddy, what do you think?
I'm happy to see him smiling. I'm happy to see him up and going. My expectation is that he won't be back, but I'll be rooting for him to come back. I just can't envision him coming back.
No.
Yeah, I think he's going to come back and play. I do.
I'd love to see
he's crazy competitive in that regard. And whether he wins or not, that seems like a long shot, but a lot of things seemed like a long shot with him a while ago.
You think he can get some sponsor exemptions to play?
Oh, yes, I do think he'll get more than a few. Hole number 4, what if the U.S. Open did this pairing for next year's or for this coming Open? Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, and Patrick Reed, the guy last seen at Torrey, taking an oh-so-generous drop. Would this be the ultimate heel pairing? Should they do it? They now, John Guhl, handcraft these pairings at the USGA. It used to be based on a set of criteria, right? A little bit random.
Yeah, I mean, when they all do that, it's random, and then they kind of move some TV groups together. And,
okay.
They've done experimenting with like all California groups and all British groups and all that stuff.
But if you take the last 3 U.S. Open winners,
that's not them.
No,
Reed
but
has not
two
won
of them are in there, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two that you want.
DeChambeau and
Well,
Koepka.
you know, the PGA, when it was the last major of the year, always used to put the Masters, U.S. Open, and British Open champion together.
Right.
So there are, and, you know, I think the U.S. Open, they always put the U.S. Open champ with the U.S. Amateur champ.
Right.
And maybe a past champion.
So they probably won't do this pairing. But you'd love to see it, right?
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate
great
heel
TV.
pairing.
Reed would get lost in this shuffle, though. You would forget he's even there.
Oh,
so
he'd
they could
figure
put
out how to
whoever.
get ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd figure out how to get on TV.
No, you know what would happen? Reed would take a very cheaty drop. DeChambeau, being the science nerd he is, would come over and start going, hey, what are you doing over here? Koepka would then say, hey, look, nerd, just let him play. He's 4 over.
Whatever, bro.
That's right.
Then he'd fight him, and it'd be like Happy Gilmore fighting Bob Barker.
Perfect.
Would that be the worst thing in the world?
No.
Be good for golf. Okay. Hole number 6, I think we're on, right?
5.
5.
Let's
Thank
go to
you
6.
very much.
Yeah, we could skip a hole.
Club Pro Guy continues to just kill it with creative videos. And I've got a larger question to ask you guys about Club Pro Guy, and that is, first of all, if they were to build a crummy course, like super crummy course, like he's threatening in these viral videos to do, would people actually show up and play it? Would it be a viable thing? If you could get this piece of property for a cheap enough amount of money.
Hole 1 left, and you could be looking at a major personal injury or wrongful death lawsuit. Next up is Safe Light Auto Glass.
The name of the holes.
205-yard par 3 second hole that asks a simple question. Are you sure you want to rip hybrid after just nailing a single mom and a minute on the last hole?
So I ask you guys, I think you could have a viable business. I think if you built this golf course as insanely bad as he's described it in Kansas City or off of Highway 635, whatever it is, people would come. They're buying his gear already. Why wouldn't you play 3-Jack National, pay the fee, take pictures, laugh about it, spread the word on social media? As a goof.
They would.
They would play it as a goof one time, I think. The long-term viability is probably not very good.
You think it's a one-time only course?
Yeah, it's you know, obviously he's not going to spend much money on the theoretical.
Well, the maintenance will be
National,
low,
but
you know, because you don't want it in good shape, right?
Right.
You need it in bad shape to live down to the expectations.
Well, he will have to continue to come up with this content to keep that going.
I
and
know.
I would love
that
to
I'm
see
more
that.
confident in.
Yeah,
I'm more confident
that
in.
would be
You
fun.
don't think at some point that his act will get tired? You're like, okay, I'm some kind of sick
Yes.
Club Pro guy.
It will.
Eventually. But it's
Everyone's does.
It's gone on a lot longer
Yeah,
than I would have
without a
thought.
doubt. Yeah.
And this might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. Go to Club Pro Guy on Twitter. Him describing the planned first hole at 3-Jack National.
I'm standing by what will be the first tee. It's a very intimidating spot. The road noise is so loud you can barely hear yourself think. Good luck with this opening tee shot. Anything to the left has a great chance of hitting a passenger car.
So good. So I think they should build it. You know, I can't even get the gear. They're like, are you not a member yet at 3-Jack National? I'm like, I was too late. It's like sold out, sold out,
Oh,
sold
my
out.
goodness.
Great concept. Okay, hole number 7 as we are on the clock. I'm trying to move here. What is the best short course, par 3, putting course, or let's call it gimmick course you've ever played? Because I just saw the Cradle at Pinehurst for the first time.
Yeah, mine's at Shelter Harbor where we play our alumni tournament every year. They have a par 3 course that is just so phenomenal, so fun to play, in such perfect condition. I love it.
Palm Beach National, par 3 course down in West Palm Beach. Just imagine you're on what feels like a little isthmus out into the water, and a par 3 course with water on 3 sides. That's what it feels like. It's not quite that way. All sand, short holes, but you know, beautiful weather. It's wonderful.
Did the preserve out at Bandon Dunes? Spectacular.
And what is it? Is it a par 3, 9 hole?
Yeah, it's
full length
basically
holes.
no,
How long?
par 3 holes.
Okay. But
it's
full
not,
length par 3s.
Yeah, and it's not 18 holes. I think it's 16 or 17 holes. But you see the ocean as the backdrop from all the holes. So the way they angle it. So that's and I've been to the Cradle. I haven't played it. Did you get to play it down there?
I didn't get to play it, but I was out there having a cocktail or two, watching a couple of guys tour it. $50, fair price, I think. Get a replay rate for less than that. And it was going to be a driving range. Ronnie told us that he talked to the people down there. They said that They were going to build a driving range, and then I guess Gil Hanse said, well, why don't we make it a par 3 that doubles as a range every 5 years when the tour is in town. They'll just hit balls off this tee out onto the course.
Yeah.
Genius.
Cool. Yeah.
And he says Ronnie says the finances that par 3 brings in has changed the overall outlook of the entire resort.
Wow.
Not that the other part of the resort was struggling, but this has sent it to a whole new level. And it's great for introducing people to the game.
Yeah. Great.
I think the best thing I ever saw, and this was not a par 3 course, but it was like a chipping course, a little tiny course at the foot of Turnberry underneath the hotel in Scotland. Miniature 50 to 60-yard holes that looked just like the real British Open course with heather and a little bit of stuff. And we went out there. It was warm. It was nice, bare feet. Played 9 holes chipping course. Pretty spectacular.
Great. Cool.
Okay, what hole are we on?
9.
We're moving ahead to 9?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me see how we're doing on time. We're on the clock a little bit, but not terribly. Let me get this one in here. Okay. If you had one thing to impart, a one-word lesson, even if you're not a teacher, to a new player, sort of like when you tell people about real estate, it's location, location, location. One word 3 times to hammer it home. What would be your best tip? Blank, blank, blank.
Oh, one word. Tempo, tempo, tempo.
Oh.
That was yours.
They stole mine, yeah.
Tempo, tempo, tempo. Okay.
I see a lot of bad swings when we have, junior amateur events, and it's all because it's kind of frantic and it's poor tempo.
You have to get over in golf at some point the hit at mentality and get into swinging the golf club. So tempo is, you can explain that to someone that we got to swing at rather than hit, but it's human nature to hit at. So if you can start to give them an idea of what the overall tempo would feel like, then they have to swing the club as opposed to hit.
Okay.
As a non-teacher, what I've seen out of new golfers, a lot of times they're really trying to lift the ball up. So I always like to say, so I guess down, down, down. Hit down on the ball.
Down,
it's going to come back up.
Very good.
Down.
Yeah.
I would say the grip, the grip, the grip. Proper grip will set you up for success. When the grip
should have gone with equipment.
Well, of course.
Gift card would be your 3 things. Okay, let's just cut to 9. I don't even know what hole we're on.
We're on
number 9. How many hours would you spend locked in a porta potty in order to play Augusta National?
Ooh.
Total number of hours.
Is the porta potty fresh?
No. When is a porta potty
Do I have
ever
my phone?
fresh? It's after
I don't know if you can
Grateful
survive
Dead concert.
Oh, in the heat.
100.
100 hours is your number, okay?
Yeah, if anyone wants to set that up.
I want to play as bad, but I don't think I can make it more than an hour, especially if it's hot.
It's 4 days.
Got it. I'll sleep in there, whatever.
No, you won't
It's
sleep.
worth it.
You'll be in a varying states of disorientation.
Yeah.
Tell me how many hours I got to go before or after. I'll do whatever. Whatever. Let's go.
Blank check.
Yeah.
I'm not that,
blank check.
I have, especially in the heat, I have trouble with those places. No more than 2 hours.
The answer for me, the answer is 24 hours.
Wow.
That's it. I can't do 100. That's
I
crazy.
know 100.
All right, coming up, final segment here of the Capital Golf Gang presented by Golfdom. We're here in the fabulous Callaway hitting bay, right? Mm-hmm. Of the 3 different high-tech hitting bays. Come on down, get fit for new clubs, and enjoy all the equipment and get your summer going right when it comes to the game of golf. We're back with our final segment this week right after this.
You are listening to the Capital Golf Gang. 4 guys who only care about one trajectory on their irons, Airborne.
Airborne is nice. Airborne works. You can usually find Airborne. It's the grounders that are no fun. Welcome back. Czabe here on the Capital Golf Gang with Buddy Christensen, owner of Golfdom, as well as John Guhl, the executive director of the Mid-Atlantic PGA, and John Guhl, John Ronis, excuse me, of the Ronis Golf Academy.
I just got better looking.
You did. The Ronis Golf Academy.
Thank you.
Out at River Creek. Ron Thomas is in Indy this week for the Indy 500. He is once again the champion golfer of the year for the Malcolm McLeod Memorial.
Oh, my goodness.
Which had a fabulous week, warm, dry week down at Pine Needles, Mid-Pines. Shout out to Bill Gilmore, our host down there. He takes great care of us. And we've got a dilemma for next year, boys, in that the LPGA, or excuse me, the U.S. Women's Open is coming to Pine Needles May 25th through June 1st.
Your week.
Basically. I mean, our week
Do they
is the
know
week.
this?
No. No. Thank
you?
you. They didn't even consult, which is insane. So there's no way we can be there the week before. And then these kind of big events, they splash out like a big rock in a pond, and it impacts the following weeks.
Yep.
So I'm not sure we can do the 20th annual, the big 20th, down there at Pine Needles or Mid Pines.
Find a
so
substitute.
I had an idea. I said the 20th will likely be a letdown because some of the core guys who've missed the last couple of years, you know, Captain Sheehan, Fixie, and Kurtz, that little pain in the butt, they haven't been there the last 3 years. They say, they're like, oh, the 20th, I'm coming back. Chances are they're going to say, something came up, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be a letdown. It'll still be a great week of golf. My decision, I think, I was leaning towards this, kill the golf trip at 19, 1 year shy of 20, under the premise of anything that lasts 20 years is eventually going to get old. Start a new one, and when the new thing gets to 19 years, you kill that one.
The Malcolm Memorial.
Very meta.
Always
That's very
leave them wanting
Inception-like.
more.
So the notion was, and this is where I'll take your input, guys, and also the input of anyone who's listening who wants to email me. The notion was take it to Myrtle. And take it to Myrtle for, instead of 5 rounds, buddy, in 3 days, 4 rounds in 4 days. So every day it's a leisurely, gentlemanly 11 a.m. start, or even noon.
Good.
With time to drink and go to restaurants and go to the pool, go to the beach. What do you think?
So Myrtle, you can do all of that, right? You've got plenty of things you can do at Myrtle. Some very good golf courses there. I'm a big tradition guy. I like keeping going forward. I don't like giving up on that. So I would go somewhere else in Pinehurst, which there's a ton of places down there.
There's a ton of places.
I don't know if it'll be open with the open going on. That's the problem.
I know, but you see, we've lived in the luxury of Pine Needles Mid Pines,
right?
Which is as classy as Pinehurst proper, and not quite as pricey. And so it's going to be hard for us to slum it at, say, Mid South. No offense.
Well, and there's some other places down there too, but.
All
again,
right.
I don't know how busy they'll be.
So you're
with corporate.
saying don't give up on Pine Needles Mid Pines just yet. That's your gut.
My opinion would be, I like 20, 25, 30 moving on rather than go back to 1.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, you guys are getting older, so 18 holes a day sounds a little better.
Oh, yeah, sure does.
It sure does.
Sure does.
I mean, Myrtle is a little bit, as we've said, Buddy said, that there's a lot of good golf courses, but I don't know if there's a lot of great golf courses in Myrtle.
No. If you go down south, apparently, Pawleys Island.
That's where you guys
Caledonia, True Blue. Yep. That's where you're talking. But Myrtle proper is a bit of a rodeo. Run them in, run them out, yeehaw. Run them out, run them in, yeehaw.
But I like the 18 holes for you. I think that's
oh, for me? Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing you're not getting older.
Yeah, that's right. I'm still
Ronis, any thoughts?
No, I mean, 4 rounds of golf would quadruple my quota for the year. So it's
okay, very good. All right, we didn't talk about Kiawah much. The course, I thought it turned out spectacular. I thought, how come you guys aren't going there more often? It's not on the books for the Ryder Cup still. Can you believe that?
I don't understand. And I think people are hungry for that golf course again. And I think they would. So we've done one of our college trips, a few down in that Charleston area, and a few years ago, Ocean Course was part of our trip. And it was during that tournament on Sunday, everyone's texting me like, we got to get back there. And so I would love to see the tour make its way back there somehow, some way.
Guhl, you and I talked about this earlier this week. The next Open Ryder Cup window is not till 2041.
Correct.
Which would be
U.S. Yeah.
The U.S. window, which would be the 50th anniversary of the War by the Shore. If that doesn't happen, if you can't bring this thing back on the 50th, shame on your organization. Let it be known.
Yeah, and let me just say that the course is wonderful. It's a great test of golf. It shows beautifully on TV.
But
logistically, it is a real problem.
Yeah, it's an island.
It's an island. There's one way in, one way out. Yeah. So almost everybody, other than either people staying there or basically the players, has to park off the island and shuttle in on buses.
Yeah,
very
difficult.
But they did it at the '91 Ryder Cup. They did it
That
This
was
year,
before the Ryder Cup was the Ryder Cup. This year there was 10,000 people there.
Okay.
Ryder Cup usually takes 35 or 40.
Okay.
So as
Yeah,
I was
big
describing
difference.
to you, even
All
walking
right.
around the golf course, you've got little sand paths that are maybe 3 people wide, especially on the back 9. You're walking in sand, right? So that's a little bit more difficult. But when you have a big group, so I was walking at Larkin Gross was one of our assistant pros in our section at Springfield who qualified, did a great job. I watched him all the front 9. He started on the back. I said, I'm going to walk down 18 and meet him somewhere in the middle. I just want to see the rest of the golf course and see the golf. I was going against the stream of a group with Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy. I couldn't move. There were so many. Remember, it was only 10,000 people. I
Right.
couldn't get through going the other way because there's only one path, and it's filled with people going the other way. So logistically is the problem. You know, almost all tournaments now, a lot of the old school tournaments or courses like Pine Valley, for example, you just can't do it. It doesn't have the logistics to make it happen.
But the U.S. Open figured out Marion, which had all those limitations, very tight yard, and they figured out and they made it work. I don't know. I think there's a real opportunity for your organization to go to some really cool places because now you're in May.
Right. It does
home
open
run
up.
of a move.
Yep.
And a lot of courses have come into play. A lot of the older ones are not in play, but still.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we want to talk about before we're done today?
I just want to address, this is the kids are getting out of school, so we have a lot of programs in our junior golf space for the Middle Atlantic PGA. Certainly drive, chip, and putt. We just saw about a month ago the national finals at Augusta National, but that whole process at the local level starts beginning of June with us. Junior League has been huge. We've had a huge growth because we had a year without, but since their numbers from 2019 to 2021 are growing, and this is the two-person scramble teams that make up a greater team from your facility. So it's low pressure, great opportunity for kids to learn the game, and then lastly our junior tour, which has something like 10 or 12 divisions now based on skill and age. So no matter how your kid plays, they have a place to learn competitive golf. And just go to the mapga.com website and they can find all that information.
All right, buddy, what's shaking here at Golfdom?
We're getting ready for the Father's Day run and the U.S. Open. We're about 3 weeks away, right? So stocking the store up and getting it ready. And everybody come on in, and we'll have plenty of merchandise, even though we're fighting hard to get it all in here.
What makes for a good Father's Day gift for golfers?
Well, first,
anything, right?
Yeah. Well, hopefully, Dad's already kind of laid out what he kind of wants. That makes it a little bit easier.
Do you have a gift registry here?
It's
sort of like
7.5 degree.
We have thought about that, but yeah, no. There's some unique things. We're going to pull in a lot of unique gift add-on items that that Dad can enjoy on his day on Sunday.
And John Ronis, you're going to hit the final shot this week for us. The floor is yours, my friend. John lost his mother this week, and she was a big listener of this program. And I remember you would tell me about your mom, saying, "I just love Tiger. I love Tiger." She would always say that. And, you've had a tough week, but you said you wanted to be here for this especially because your mom listened to this show.
Yep.
And,
Thanks.
man, she drove you to a lot of golf tournaments as a kid, right? I'm sure she did. So, yeah, may she rest in peace, and God bless her for that.
Thanks, Abe.
All right, buddy. That'll do it for this week here on the Capital Golf Gang, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And, Johnny Boy, appreciate that. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. Hitting all the buttons in the wrong way. All right, that'll do it for us this week. Thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Thanks for having us here in the store. John Guhl, enjoy your long weekend, although I guess you're officiating a event on Monday?
Tuesday,
okay. All right.
Senior, junior, Kings Mill.
All right, very good. And I'm going to the Outer Banks with the fam day.
Nice.
So we'll see some Outer Banks golf, hopefully, as I get away from the family for a little bit at a time. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have yourself a great Memorial Day weekend, and we will see you next time on the Capital Golf Gang right here on the Team 980 presented by Golfdom.
This has been the Capital Golf Gang on the Team 980. If you'd like the gang to visit your home course, send your inquiries to czabe@yahoo.com. That's CZABE @yahoo.com. or visit the show page at www.theteam980.com. And for free swag, we're all in extra large. So yeah, thanks for the shirts.